Okay, YouTube, hello. Hans, I'm a bit like Gernaldinho today. This video, I've decided to do a series on sort of curving for collection and stuff like that. So yeah, you've clicked on this with a title saying how do I clean my games, once I've purchased them. So I'm just going to show you a process I go through with every game, regardless of the condition. So just a few things first. This is microfiber cloth, dry, clean. We've got some cotton buds, some IPA, and then this is just a bowl of soapy water, again with a wet microfiber cloth in. I always make sure that they're clean, so whenever I start cleaning anything, I make sure they've been washed and it's all clean, good to go. So we just got warm soapy water, nothing, no chemicals. Obviously we've got the alcohol, which we'll come on to, but basically, so what I do, so I buy a bunch of games, whether it's, so this one's from CEX, and it's in good nick, to be honest, so it's not the best example to show you what to clean, but the process is the same regardless of what state it's in. So the first thing I do is take all the stickers off. I don't like any price stickers. Some people like sort of historic stickers, if this had sale £40. Some people like to keep that stuff on. Some people keep these CX stickers on. Personally, I'm not a fan. I like to take them all off. So I peel the stickers off. When I do peel something off, CX stickers tend to come off quite easy. Others struggle. You can probably just make out here on his chest. There's a bit of residue there from a previous sticker. So whilst I've got the sticker, I just press it on and peel it off a few times, and usually that gets rid of it. So it has done here, so that's gone. So it gets rid of a lot of the residue, and you won't be able to see as well as I do, but if I focus where the light is, so you can see here there's another bit there. So I'll try and get that bit off with the same method. I just use different parts of the sticker. I just rub it on, press it with my thumb a bit, and there you go. It's like magic, isn't it? And that makes before I get IPA or scrub it or whatever, that tends to do a really good job just taking extra residue off. And I just go over it again anywhere I can see bits of gunk or whatever. I just use a sticker to peel it off. The back seems fine. If they've been in game, or sometimes you get stickers over the barcodes. So yeah, basically just check around. Here we go. So we've got another sticker there, 6277. So that's probably just where it's been stored somewhere, maybe to marry up with the manual or stuff like that. Again, a bit of residue on there, so I'm just going to use this sticker, and yeah, it just gets rid of it all. So then we'll scrunch that up, move that, and then we've got this one here at the top. So same again, let's just peel it off. Again, a lot of people aren't really bothered about this, but the way I collect, I like things just to be clean as possible and as original as possible. And I know you could sort of argue, see how that leaves sort of a ring. I know you could argue that maybe stickers are good to be on, they are original, it's good to have them on, but personally it's not for me, and obviously it is personal preference whether you keep them on or not. But yeah, I don't like price stickers are out. There's a bit more here. So again, just using the sticker alone has got most of the residue off. You can still see bits of specks of whatnot. There's always light scratches. What I do next is take the game out, take the manual out, and then I take the sleeve out. Okay, so we'll just set those aside so they're out of the way. And then we've got the case. Now, I get that this can be a bit unnecessary maybe, but it's just, again, the way I like to do things. So I've got a cloth in soapy water. Now I used to use a baby wipe, but I find this a bit better. I mean, the thing with baby wipes is once you've opened them, they don't last a great deal of time before they dry out and then they're useless. So I've stopped getting baby wipes and I just use a cloth. It's just soapy water. Literally just, this is hard just with the space at the moment, so I'll not go crazy on it, but I basically just wipe the edges. I keep the case sealed. This works whether it's a Dreamcast, a PS1 or whatever. I always just do the outside first. Press on firmly, give it all a wipe, I mean, it's probably a good idea anyway, because we all know CX and stuff can, the car boots especially, they're not the cleanest places. So I mean, I used to have bad OCD, not so much anymore, but I used to walk away from car boots, after picking up a few games and whatnot, and I couldn't wait to wash my hands. Couldn't wait to wash my hands because of how dirty everything is. But I just like the idea that there's no hairs, there's no, I don't know, kids who have messed about with sweets and left. A lot of these games are old. Even this is original Xbox, so it's 20 years old, so a little bit more potentially. It's they've been through the wars, so yeah, just get it nice and clean. If you're gonna collect something and spend money on something and display it nicely in a nice room with people really care for. So here we go underneath the film. You just got to be careful not to, obviously, especially when you get to the edges, not be too rough that you tear the see-through sheet or see-through bit of plastic, the outer layer, because I've done that before and that's rather annoying. Flip it over and I just sort of rub it against my hand on the underside. Again, it's maybe not necessary to go this deep into it all, but I know now that this case has had a scrub with fairy liquid and warm water. It is clean. It's clean of any sort of, I don't know, bacteria, but more so it's clean of any. You get all sorts on here, don't you? I've picked some up before with hair, with like bits of sweet stuck on them. I don't know, dust. It just gets rid of everything. You can be certain that you've given it a good clean, and at the same time you're also getting rid of any residue as well of like anything that was sticky. Again, the stickers. So for this particular game, I've not had to use the IPA. Right, so that's fully dry now. So that's why we have two different cloths. Obviously, just one that dries it, because you don't want to put all your paperwork back in here whilst it's wet, obviously. And then I tend to sort of open it up like this and just give it a little shake, a little waft, just for any leftover bit of dampness gets sort of aired out. And then there, you see it's sort of nice and shiny. I know it's reflecting off the light. Now what you can do about the scratches and stuff like that, you just sort of got to live with that, I guess. And then I just sort of inspect again, so I can see a little bit there. That's just come off with my thumbnail. Now I've used warm soapy water. Anything that's on here is soft, so I just go over it again and just have a quick check. You don't have to spend too long. Again, on the spine here, I can see a bit of something left over, so I'm gonna get the cloth again just for this bit. There you can see it. This little bit here. Again, it looks like the edge of a sticker or something, so I'm just going to work that bit again. And obviously the fact that the water's warm and got soap in it, it softens any sort of contaminants. And well, I don't need to explain it, do I? We all know how soapy water works. But there, see how that bit's now gone. And again, it's personal preference. It's just how I like to do things. I figure if I'm going to spend money on stuff, whether it's a couple of quid or a couple £100, I want it to be clean and presentable at least. So once the case is done, have a quick look at the manual, take any stickers off. Sometimes you go to peel a sticker off and it starts peeling the manual away. Depending on the size of the sticker, or I sort of make a judgment call whether it's worth just keeping the sticker on, or is it worth just peeling it off and having a little bit of damage or whatever. But here you can see sort of the top, there's smudges here, there and everywhere. It doesn't feel shiny and clean. So I've really ringed out this, so it's wet, but it's not dripping. And I literally just give it a quick once over. Again, you got to be careful because this is paper. I don't go into each page. I just do the front and the back, which are obviously like plastic coated. And again, you can just be sure that you've got rid of anything that is nasty. and then from there it feels much better. In the hand it feels clean. I don't know how much you can see. It's obviously shinier, but it's free from grime or whatever. So that's good to slip in. Then I have a look at the CD. Does that need a quick wipe? So I can see up here there's a bit of a smudge. So I don't tend to go for the soapy water. I just use a dry cloth. Just wipe it over the edge. Again, if there's writing, sometimes you get like a marker pen that's someone's written on here, like a series of numbers or whatever. You can use the IPA. Have a look at the back. Yeah, it's in good condition, this disc. A few finger marks and stuff like that. This is me. This is my little tripod and my setup. I'd literally just give it a quick wipe, and yeah, it's good. It's good to go. Don't need to get it incredibly amazing. If you wanted to go further, you can obviously do disc cleaner and stuff like that. But the main thing is just getting it clean. So once I've done that, I've took all the stickers off. I've given it all a clean. I know it's all nice and clean. And then we just need to put the sheet on, which I'd forgot. So again, with the sheet, I'll just have a look, and they tend to be in good condition because no one ever pulls these things out. So I can feel that it feels clean. Obviously at the top you get sort of the wear, but it doesn't really need a wipe. You might have some instances where it does, but it's yeah, I think it's quite rare that you've got to take these out and give them a bit of a wipe. But that's all it is. It's only a little quick brush over with a very wringed out cloth. And then to me, that now, again, it feels so much cleaner. You know it's clean because you've cleaned it. And yeah, it's ready to be sort of displayed. No stickers, no residue. This is, again, personally for me, I can slip that into the collection and it's good to go. I'm not going to show other games, but it's the same with regards to Dreamcast, DS, obviously any of the case games. Cartridges obviously are a bit different. We'll do a separate video for that, but it's all the same process on disc-based media. Just take out all the paper, give it all a quick wipe, dry it, put it all back in, and you're good to go. So yeah, we didn't need to use these for this particular video, but if you've got stickers which won't peel off, I tend to sort of fill the lid up. So I take the lid off, fill that up with IPA. I'll just get a bit on my end of my finger and rub it onto a sticker, let it soak, and try and peel it off. If it doesn't peel, put a bit more on, let it soak, and then you can start sort of scraping it away then. On cases it's easy because you've got a nice soft plastic sheet which won't be affected by the IPA. If you're on manuals or other sort of paper, then it gets a bit trickier. But in terms of what we're doing here, it's very easy to get off that way. But like I said, a lot of the time you don't need to, so you can save yourself the IPA and just use a sticker. You could see earlier I just use a sticker to get most of the residue off, and then when you come to soap and water, that does a good enough job to get rid of the rest. Right, and that's it. So we'll leave it there. So there's, I don't know, something you've learnt there, and that I do that for every game. Every single game that's in these shelves has been through that process, unless it's a brand new game. But before I put anything on them shelves, they get a proper scrub, so I know that they're clean. With PlayStation games, you can really see a difference on the top there. So again, you just take all the paper out. I'm not going to go through it because I'm sure you know how to do it. And then just wash it all like I did with that cloth, and just scrub these spines on the top, and you see how much grime you get off them, and you see how much shinier they get. Exactly the same with Dreamcast. And then the water afterwards, so this is obviously only been used for one game, which was relatively clean, but if you do a handful of games, that becomes black, becomes really dirty. So yeah, why store all that dirt? Just store the games. Right guys, take it easy, and we'll see you in the next episode, which will be cleaning something else. We'll see.